Good evening. Vice President Sara Duterte vows that she would not leave the country should the complaints filed against her lead to her arrest. In a press conference on Wednesday, December 11, Duterte says she still wants to be able to see her children should she be detained.
No, I do not plan to leave the country, or I do not plan to hide if there will be a warrant of arrest. Mainly because my children are here. So if I am detained, I want to be able to still see my children.
Duterte was also asked if she regrets making remarks about hiring someone to kill President Bongbong Marcos, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
No, ma'am, buti na yung alam nila, ma'am, na pag namatay ako, hindi talaga ako, I will not die in vain.
Duterte makes the pronouncement despite being investigated by the National Bureau of Investigation over the same remarks. The NBI is probing whether Duterte committed grave threats under Article 282 of the Revised Penal Code in relation to Section 6 of the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 or violated the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020. Besides being under investigation by the NBI, Duterte is also facing complaints for grave coercion, direct assault, and disobedience filed by the Philippine National Police. She is also facing disbarment complaints before the Supreme Court. All these stemmed from a threat made by Duterte in an online press conference on November 23, where the Vice President said she instructed someone to kill Marcos, his wife, and cousin should she herself die. The Bicameral Conference Committee approves the committee report on the proposed 6.352 trillion peso national budget for 2025, which contains the reconciled and consolidated versions from the Senate and the House of Representatives. During the closing Bicam meeting at the Manila Hotel on Wednesday, December 11, Senator Win Gatchalian moves to approve and adopt House Bill number 10800. Senator Joel Villanueva quickly seconds Gatchalian's motion. In an ambush interview following the Bicam meeting, Senate Finance Committee Chairperson Grace Poe reveals the controversial Ayuda sa Kapos ang Kita program was retained in the 2025 budget bill. However, the Akap fund was slashed to more or less 26 billion pesos from an initial allocation of 39.8 billion pesos. Poe likewise discloses that senators now have access to the Akap fund. The Akap funding earlier became controversial after it was linked to the signature campaign for charter change. At the same time, Poe says members of the Bicam committee agreed to retain the 733 million peso funding of the Office of the Vice President. The OVP's budget was initially at around 2.03 billion pesos but was reduced by 1.29 billion pesos. According to Poe, the OVP's budget was retained despite several senators' requests to increase it.
Siyempre, this is a collegial body, di ba? Lahat naman tayo, meron tayong wish list na gusto nating mapagbigyan. Pero sa huli, mananaig din yung mayorya. Inexplika ko naman sa kanila na meron namang pagkakataon yung Office of the Vice President na tumulong pa rin. Meron silang social services allotment na 600 million na pwede nilang gamitin para dyan. Hindi naman sila nawalan at yun nga yung sinasabi ko noong umpisa pa lang, capacitated pa rin sila.
Meanwhile, Malacanang says President Bongbong Marcos is tentatively scheduled to sign the 2025 national budget on December 20. A bill that seeks to initiate reforms in confidential and intelligence fund usage and accountability was filed before the House of Representatives. In a press briefing on Wednesday, December 11, Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Chua confirms that he and other lawmakers filed House Bills number 11192 and 11193, which cover issues discussed by the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability.
Dalawa po yung file natin this morning. Yung isa po yung House Bill number 11192. Ang title po nito, an act regulating the allocation and utilization of confidential and intelligence funds imposing penalties for misuse and misappropriation. Yung isa naman po ay House Bill number 11193. Ang title naman po nito, an act regulating special disbursing officers and imposing penalties for misuse and misappropriation of funds.
The panel, headed by Chua, recently investigated issues involving confidential fund utilization of the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education under Vice President Sara Duterte. During the hearings of the Committee on Good Government, it was revealed that special disbursing officers assigned to the OVP and DepEd left the disbursement of confidential funds to security officials under Duterte's orders. According to Chua, House Bill number 11193 seeks to provide specifications as to who can be appointed as special disbursing officer.
Originally, pag SDO ka, ang sa ngayon basta't ikaw ay in-appoint lang ng head of agency, pwede ka na maging SDO. So dito po sa ating bagong batas na ipinasa, may mga qualification na po kami na isinaad. Kailangan merong educational background na related sa accounting, auditing, or finance. At dapat yung approved fidelity band mo, kailangan equivalent sa iyong accountability.
Chua explains there will also be penalties aside from possible administrative and criminal liabilities if the provisions are violated. Issues regarding the utilization of the confidential funds surround the OVP and DepEd. Earlier, the Philippine Statistics Authority said it did not find any records of Mary Grace Piatos and Kokoy Villamin whose names appeared in the acknowledgement receipts for confidential fund disbursements. The Philippines, United States, and Japan raised serious concerns over China's repeated blocking and harassment of the Philippine vessels in the West Philippine Sea during their inaugural trilateral maritime talks in Tokyo. The dialogue held on Tuesday, December 10, was chaired by Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary Maria Teresa Lazaro, U.S. National Security Council Senior Director Mira Rapp Cooper, and Japanese Assistant Foreign Minister Nakamura Ryo. In a readout, the U.S. State Department says the three countries expressed concerns about China's dangerous and unlawful behavior in the South China Sea, adding that this threatens the freedom of navigation and overflight of all nations. The three states also reaffirmed their commitment to upholding international law as reflected in the 1982 Law of the Sea Convention. The Department of Foreign Affairs likewise says the dialogue was a significant milestone in demonstrating the deepening cooperation of the three countries on maritime concerns. It adds that the talks reflected the three nations' enduring commitment to uphold a free, open, and secure Indo-Pacific through the rules-based international order. The Philippines, United States, and Japan also conducted a joint patrol in the West Philippine Sea on December 6, a few days after the confrontations between Manila and Beijing in the disputed waters. The China Coast Guard on December 4 sideswiped and blasted its water cannon at the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources ship near Bajo de Masinloc or Scarborough Shoal. At Escoda Shoal, Chinese vessels also harassed Philippine government ships almost at the same time as the incident in Bajo de Masinloc. Sofronio Vasquez emerges as the Voice United States Season 26 winner, becoming the first ever Filipino to have won the competition. Vasquez bested the remaining four finalists at the two-night finale held on December 9 and 10. During the first part of the final round, Vasquez, who is under Team Michael Bublé, sang Sia's Unstoppable and A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman. Vasquez then shared the stage with his coach Bublé for the second part, performing a duet Who's Loving You by the Jackson 5. Shai, another contestant from Team Bublé, came second to Vasquez, while Sydney Sterlace from Team Gwen Stefani placed third. Danny Joseph from Team Reba McEntire took the fourth place, while Jeremy Beluate from Team Snoop Dogg earned the fifth place. Vasquez, who is an alumnus of the local singing competition Tawag ng Tanghalan, was also a four-chair turner during the competition's blind auditions. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Faith Argusino. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net.